the Ukrainians did. It's quite clear what the units were, which brigades were involved, and roughly how many troops were involved. So I don't think there's much question there. The real debate today is whether this was a smart move or not. I believe it was a remarkably foolish move on the part of the Ukrainians. And I think, by the way, if you look at the initial response of the Ukrainian bloggers, the Ukrainians who follow this war very carefully and are obviously pro-Ukrainian, they were shocked by the invasion. And the initial response, almost to a person, was that this was a bad idea. And of course, they were correct. But what's happened over time is that the West and many Ukrainian spokespeople have turned the propaganda machine on, and this is now being spun as a stunning victory for the Ukrainians, but it's no such thing.
Before we get to the spin, and before we get to President Putin's likely response, Russian surveillance claims that it surveilled voices amongst those participating in the invasion, and it detected English speakers, and its linguists identified the English speakers as, quote, having American accents. Would it surprise you if contractors, soldiers of fortune, CIA agents, American military technicians operating equipment, people like that, perhaps from Poland, Estonia, Romania, Latvia, Germany, France, Great Britain, and the US were there?
Well, a couple points. First of all, if they were there, I don't think the numbers were very large. Second point I'd make is I wouldn't be surprised if there were Americans involved, mainly mercenaries or private contractors who were working for the Ukrainian government. That wouldn't surprise me. I'd be surprised, maybe even shocked, if there were any American soldiers who were involved in the operation.
I mean, could this have happened without CIA and MI6 either involvement, guidance, or at minimum acquiescence?
It's hard to imagine that, to be honest. It's quite clear that the Ukrainians were very secretive about this whole operation. And there are all sorts of reports that many of the soldiers who were involved in the operation were surprised. They were told at the last moment that this offensive was going to take place. But you would think, given how closely the United States and the West more generally works with the Ukrainians, and given the intelligence capabilities that we have, we would have seen evidence of this coming. So I think that in all likelihood, we knew it was coming and we didn't stop the Ukrainians.
Did this